Hello friends and welcome to Budget IQ. Today we're diving into something big, how social media might be getting money completely wrong. You know what I'm talking about. Our feeds are just flooded with get-rich-quick schemes, these so-called secret tax hacks, and investment gurus promising you the moon. But what's the actual, documented reality behind all that viral hype? Well, let's find out.
Okay, let's just start with this number, $162 million. That is the amount in penalties the IRS has hit taxpayers with, people who were misled by sketchy financial claims they found on social media. So yeah, these aren't just harmless posts, they have some very serious real-world consequences.
So that's the big question, right? How do you even begin to separate the facts from all the fiction out there? In this explainer, we are going to cut right through the noise. We're going to use documented sources, actual court cases, and official data to investigate 4 of the most common and, frankly, dangerous financial myths you'll find while you're scrolling.
All right, first up, we have a myth that is practically its own genre on TikTok and Instagram. The secret tax loophole that, the rich don't want you to know about. And the idea is just so seductive that with one simple little trick, you can unlock massive tax savings. And one of the most popular ones making the rounds is the so-called Augusta Rule.
You've definitely seen a video with a title exactly like this. The claim is that you can rent your own home to your own business and then just pocket the money completely tax-free. It sounds amazing, right? Almost too good to be true. And as we're about to see, the social media version conveniently leaves out all the critical details.
Now here's the surprising part. This rule is actually real. It's officially Section 280A(g) of the Internal Revenue Code. It got the nickname the Augusta Rule because residents of Augusta, Georgia have used it for years to rent out their homes tax-free during the Masters Golf Tournament. But, and this is a huge but, using it for your own business is where things get really, really complicated.
This really shows the massive gap between the hype and reality. See, social media sells it as this easy loophole. The IRS sees it as a very strict provision. Influencers will tell you, oh, just pay yourself, but the IRS requires a legitimate, provable business purpose. They make it seem so simple, but it demands tons of documentation. And you can't just pick a number out of thin air. The rent has to reflect what's called fair market value. Yeah, this is not a simple trick. To do this correctly and actually survive an audit, you basically have to operate like a professional property manager. You need proof of what a local hotel or an event space would charge for a similar setup. You need to keep minutes from your business meeting to prove it was a real meeting. You need a formal paper trail for everything. It's a very structured process, not some casual hack you can do on a whim.
And if you need a serious warning, look no further than the Sinopoly tax court case. A business owner tried to deduct over $290,000 for renting their home for meetings. The court said no way and disallowed almost all of it because there was no proof the meetings even happened or that the rent was reasonable. So the key takeaway here is the IRS knows this is widely abused, and believe me, they are looking for it.
Okay, now for myth number 2, the investment guru. This is the financial influencer who promises they're going to share their secret for easily beating the stock market, usually through some really complex strategies or just by following their to-the-moon stock picks.
Now, to check this claim, we're not going to rely on some random story. We're going straight to one of the most respected sources in all of finance, S&P Dow Jones Indices. They publish reports that are basically considered the official scorekeeper in the whole debate over investment performance.
Their big report is called SPIVA. It stands for S&P Indices versus Active. And for over 20 years now, SPIVA has done one thing really, really well. It tracks whether professional, actively managed funds, the ones run by people who do this for a living all day, every day, can actually beat their benchmark, like the S&P 500.
And the results are, well, they're staggering. Over a recent 5-year period, nearly 82% of active large-cap fund managers failed to beat the S&P 500. Stretch that out to 10 years, and that number climbs to almost 87%. So the question becomes, if more than 8 out of 10 professionals can't beat the market over the long term, what are the odds that some random person on social media has somehow unlocked a secret?
Regulators like the SEC and FINRA have been screaming from the rooftops about this. The red flags are pretty clear. Promises of guaranteed high returns, creating a false sense of urgency or FOMO, and pressuring you to buy some special course. And you have to remember, influencers are often getting paid big bucks to promote this stuff, like Kim Kardashian's $1.26 million settlement with the SEC because she didn't disclose she was paid to promote a crypto asset.
We're about halfway through,
And hey, if you're finding this analysis helpful, please just take a second to like this explainer, maybe comment with your thoughts, and definitely subscribe to Budget IQ. It's a huge help, and it lets us keep making well-researched content just like this.
All right, let's get into our third myth, the effortless side hustle. The story on social media is that pretty much anyone can start a freelance business or jump into the gig economy and easily earn a full-time income with total freedom. But the data tells a slightly different story. Take a close look at these trade-offs. Data from Prudential shows that the average independent worker earns about $11,000 less per year than a full-time employee. But the real story is in the benefits. Over half have no access to employer-provided benefits at all. Only 40% have access to medical insurance, and a shocking 5%, just 5%, can get disability insurance. And that's really the heart of it. The main reason most people do gig work, we're talking 70% of them, is that they're searching for more flexibility and a better work-life balance. And look, that desire is completely valid, but the social media narrative often just glides right over the very real financial trade-offs in income and, maybe even more importantly, the lack of a real safety net. This brings us to our fourth and final myth, and honestly, this might be the most damaging of them all. It's not about a specific tactic or a strategy, but about the totally distorted perception of reality that social media creates. I'm talking about flex culture and these curated lifestyles that make everyone feel like they're falling behind. You know, there's actually a term for this, money dysmorphia. It's that feeling of being broke or financially inadequate, even if your bank account says you're doing just fine. And it's fueled by algorithms that are literally designed to show you luxury hauls and what I spend in a day vlogs, which all subtly equate success with just spending a lot of money.
And this isn't some small niche issue. Studies are showing it affects 43% of Gen Z and 41% of millennials. I mean, these are the generations that grew up with their financial expectations shaped by a constant, curated stream of what everybody else seems to have.
The consequence is very, very real. A staggering 95% of people who experience money dysmorphia say it has a negative impact on their actual finances. It leads to overspending, taking on debt, and saving less, all in an effort to keep up with what is, at the end of the day, a digital illusion.
Which is why it's just so important to remember this. Always do your own research. Verify the claims you see online with official sources like the IRS, the SEC, or by talking to a qualified professional. No one video or single post should ever be the final word on your financial decisions.
So if there's one crucial point to take away, it's this. The logic of what makes financial content go viral is often the complete opposite of the logic that actually builds wealth. Virality rewards hype, speed, and outliers. Wealth rewards discipline, patience, and consistency. Social media encourages you to compare yourself to everyone else, while building real wealth requires you to just focus on your own path. So I'll leave you with a question. The next time one of those money hacks pops up in your feed, are you going to see a tempting shortcut, or are you going to see a potential red flag? Thank you so much for watching. If this explainer helped you think a little differently about money and social media, please like, comment, and subscribe to Budget IQ. It really helps us continue to create this content for you.